Hey, what's going on, guys? Gantikas is here back with another video, and right now we're watching Story Booth. My friends talk about record Story Booth. I don't know what Story Booth was in that time, so I searched on the YouTubes and I have this stuff. So we're gonna first watching I Survived Extreme Bullying. This one 1 week ago. Storybook star.
When I was 11 years old, I was severely bullied. Every single day I would wake up in fear, and I would wake up in fear that people were going to pick on me at school, and fear that people were going to beat me at school, and I thought it was never going to end. When I was 12 years old, this is when it got real. I had to file restraining orders on people. I had to file lawsuits against people because at the end of the day, your feelings are the things that matter. It eventually escalated to the highest extent to where I would drop myself in my room 12 hours a day, not eat, not drink, not talk to any of my family members, and just sit in my own sorrow feeling. This eventually escalated to the point where I was self-harming. I was not taking care of myself. I was very self-conscious. I didn't want anyone to see me. I didn't want anyone to talk to me or even look at me. I was very, very, very intimidated by everyone. I locked myself in my room and started making YouTube videos. I made my first video, then my second, then my third, then my fourth, and soon enough I started gaining a following on YouTube because people knew the way I talked, people knew the way I acted, and it was an escape for me. When people found out that I was only 14, this is when hit the fan. It was crazy, not from boys, but from young girls my age. I realized I had a voice, a point of view, and I could also earn a living about posting my videos, which was the most insane thing because when I first started YouTube, I didn't even know you could make a dime. My parents found out when we were in a supermarket and one of my followers recognized me. This is when the cat was out of the bag. I had to tell my parents what I was doing and that people were following me and people looked up to me. They took it literally and thought people were actually following me, LOL. Now I've come to the realization that I can do much more than earn a good living with my social media accounts, but I can tell my story so other young girls and boys and LGBT friends know they too have a voice and people will listen and people are not victims. We are strong, powerful souls that can handle a lot. I don't have any answers or solutions that will stop bullying, but I do know that for all of us that have been bullied, we must use our experience and our voice to help others. And for my brothers and sisters in the world who have experienced bullying, I found out that the only way to light up a dark room is to light a match. We can't fight darkness with darkness, only with light. Let's show love. I am Swade Brooks. Every single painful thing that happens to you in your life is to build your greatness. Before I go, I wanted to give you some statistics on bullying and suicide, which are very alarming, and I thought they would be good to just kind of add in here. Suicide is the third leading cause of death among young people, resulting in about 4,400 deaths per year. Over 14% of high school students have considered suicide, and almost 7% have actually attempted it. Bullying victims are between 2 to 9 times more likely to consider suicide than non-victims.
So I won't be the lamest YouTuber ever. I don't want to be the lamest YouTuber ever. So stand up to bullying. What's this? Stand up to bullies.
When I was in grade 8, I had a best friend named Chloe. We hung out on the swings at recess, we sat together at lunch and traded sandwiches from time to time, and we always took the same bus home after school. We were like two peas in a pod, rarely separated. Well, that soon changed when Chloe got a boyfriend halfway through the year. He was a boy named Tom that was known as one of the school's biggest bullies. Everyone was extremely intimidated by him and tried to stay on his good side. Once, I had seen him throw a kid's backpack over the roof of the school for no reason. He just seemed to take pleasure in ruining people's days. So when Chloe asked me to sit with him and his friends at lunch every day, I couldn't say no. I didn't want to lose her as a friend, and I didn't want to upset him. So I pretended to support their relationship, even though I knew Tom was a bad guy. Well, one day a new girl named Jenna was introduced to our class. She looked very shy and nervous and had no one to sit with at lunch, so she sat by herself. I timidly asked Tom and his friends if I could invite her to sit with us, and they instantly started laughing, as if I had told them a hilarious joke. Tom then picked up a couple chips from his lunch and threw them over at her table where she was quietly reading a book. She looked startled but didn't try to stand up for herself. I remember feeling so bad for her in that moment, but I didn't have the courage to say anything.
If I could meet that guy, I'll call the
For the
police.
next week, Tom and his friends would bother her during lunchtime. They would roll up pieces of paper to throw in her hair and would constantly call her the weird loner girl. I was so shocked that Chloe was allowing her boyfriend to treat another human being this way. And I started feeling really embarrassed that I was sitting with these horrible bullies. Because by not standing up for Jenna, I looked like one too. So the next day I finally decided to make a change, even if I knew it would impact me negatively. So instead of sitting with Chloe and Tom, I went and sat beside Jenna. She looked really happy to finally have someone to keep her company. But right away, I noticed that Tom and his friends were giving me dirty looks and whispering to each other. And it didn't take long for them to start treating me the way they did her. Crumpled paper was thrown at me, and I was beginning to be called Weird Girl Number 2. But all I can think was, at least Jenna isn't going through this alone. I finally decided that this was enough and took Jenna with me to see the principal. We tried the best we could to tell her what was happening, but she told us that if there was no proof of bullying, she couldn't do anything. Whenever a teacher was around, Tom would act normal, and the minute she left the room for a few minutes, he would continue harassing us. It was a very difficult time, but every time Jenna would tell me how thankful she was for my friendship, it was so worth it. So one day I heard that there was a hate page online about Jenna that was started by Tom and his friends. It had an unbelievable amount of likes and follows on it. They would take pictures of her and post them with terrible captions. They would quote things that she said and gossip about some of the things she did during the day. And as unfortunate and sick as it was finally the proof we needed to give to the principal. The police actually ended up getting involved, and Jenna was never picked on again after that. I'm very proud of myself for stepping out of my comfort zone to stand up for her, because if I didn't, I'm not sure if she would have had the confidence to do it herself. Some people need that extra push from someone else that is willing to support them. So if you ever see someone being bullied, don't just be a bystander, do something about it. Your actions could greatly change someone's life for the better.
Oh my god, we totally jumped off the cliff, had to swim
So
off.
the moral story, did you learn something from this storybook? So the moral lesson, I watched just two videos in there about bullying. The moral lesson is never bully someone. If you bully someone, you'll be a lonely, dark, you'll be a very lonely guy. But if you never bullied, you'll be the one, you'll be a very good guy, and that's all the moral story. Never bully, because it can call the police involved. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment down below if I could make a new story booth. Hey guys, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to subscribe, like, or comment if you want to. If you don't, it's okay. You can still support me for watching my videos. So, bye guys. Hope to see you guys in the next video. Peace.